I'm shaking my head because why would Durst do an HBO documentary over the objection of his attorney when you have two cold cases going on? I mean, there's no statute of limitation on murder, and yet he goes on and basically may have given evidence to indict himself.
Well, is that his arrogance?
Yeah. I mean, let me tell you right now, an attorney would tell him, don't do an HBO special. Don't talk about the murders because the police and the DAs are watching.
Of course.
It makes no sense.
It's been said that he was interviewed for 25 hours for this documentary and that his attorneys tried to get him not to grant the interview. If you had been in that position and you were defending this man, what would your advice have been?
Oh, I would. This is the same, Laura. I would have said, don't do it. I would have objected and said, don't do it. Or if he's going to do it over my objection, I'm going to monitor every word he articulates on HBO. And now the police have now looked at it. The evidence by the stepson has now given them probable cause to arrest him. And tomorrow, he's going to be extradited back to LA. And it's going to be very interesting if they give a no bail hold on him because of evidence of flight. Apparently, he was under an assumed name in New Orleans.
So if you were his defense attorney, where would you go from here in light of all that evidence?
Well, first of all, I would want to get all that tape from HBO. I'm sure the police and the DA is going to get all that tape from HBO to use it to see if there's any incriminating evidence. Again, I'm going to tell them to do one thing. Don't talk any longer. Don't say another word. But when you are rich, when you are eccentric, you do whatever you want over the objection of an attorney.
LA investigators believe that they've established a motive. They believe that Berman was silenced because she had information about the disappearance of his wife. How difficult would that be to prove all these years later?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you right now, cold cases are never distinguished or extinguished. They're always set aside, and there may be one or two detectives looking for those cases or to keep working on those cases. They're going to still need more evidence than this letter because it's a circumstantial piece of evidence. There's been no evidence that the handwriting is an identical match or it is Durst. So there's a lot more they have to do, but enough to establish probable cause to arrest him. That's the first step.
Aren't you surprised that this letter is resurfacing now? Why didn't it come out in the initial investigation?
We have learned, Susan, that evidence pops up unexpectedly, evidence that is hidden, concealed. Someone doesn't follow the right track to find evidence. The fact that this 1999 letter indicating a similar handwriting match is very, very revealing evidence. And for it to be given to an HBO producer, that makes no sense. Where was the attorney there?
Right. Where was the attorney? Where were the police? Did
Where was the police?
Drop the ball?
Somebody dropped the ball. Remember, there's a lot of cases. I don't want to bring up the case of Simpson, but they found that Bruno Magli photograph of OJ in Buffalo with those shoes, and it comes up to be
of the three of us, Leo, you're the only one who's actually seen this documentary.
Yeah, you know what? I watched parts of it. I'm going to watch the other part tonight because it's interesting, but it's slow. It's sort of dramatized. The facts are, he denies the culpability of the murders, but yet he wants to be a player. He tries to be somebody bigger than he is. I think he's a bored 71-year-old millionaire.
That's the hubris. Thank
Yes.
you.